Well, welcome in everybody to another edition of the Granbury Interviews. Today I am here, April the 5th, 2012, with the Mayor of Granbury, Texas, Mr. Rickie Pratt. And Rickie, how's it going? You enjoying this weather we've had?
You cannot beat the weather. We are so lucky. We are so lucky compared to what happened up around the Metroplex area. I feel very sorry for those people that lost their homes and stuff. You know, those kind of weather events, they'll make you as a mayor realize that could have been your town, and what would you do? You know, we do have some great emergency response here. We have a good affiliation with the Hood County rescue workers and a quick response, and hopefully this never happens to our community. But I want to assure people out there that if it should, we are ready.
Absolutely ready big time. As we had talked about before, we have a very good resource with the emergency resource facility over at the sheriff's office, and I know you guys train on it. Everybody's in sync with if a natural disaster was to happen, the response would be very, very quickly here in Hood County, and we saw some of that going down this just the other day in other communities, and what I saw was the same thing that we have here, and that's people that do not hesitate. They go and help their neighbor in a moment of crisis, and we saw that down in Forney and in Lancaster and some of the areas that got hit pretty bad, and of course our thoughts and prayers go out to them. But we've got stuff going on here. Let's get to it because it's a lengthy list this week. I tell you what, City Council had some things going on about the Opera House, and of course the launch just happened. Let's talk a little bit about that because everybody is excited about the going-ons there around the square with the Opera House.
Well, at our City Council meeting, prior to the actual meeting, we had a workshop session, and during which we were privy to some Opera House renovation statistics, expectations, and where we are with the project as it is right now. They actually have set a goal of being inside of the Opera House and operational at the end of this year. That they plan to actually have the first Christmas show take place inside of the Opera House.
Wow.
That's pretty quick.
That is extremely quick with the amount of construction to be done.
So much to be done. They've already started the interior demolition. They are going to be putting in new balustrades and stairwell in the lobby area. The balcony is pretty much going to remain as it was, but it will be extended all the way to the front of the stage now. It will allow the production company to put on and utilize what are called Juliet balconies. In a Juliet balcony, you can actually sidestep everybody's attention away from the main stage to the Juliet balcony, in which a scene will take place while the rest of the stage is being cleared and made a scene change. It's a nice concept that's being brought forward by Andrew Barris. He's bringing a lot of afterthought things that normally happen in a theater environment. You wind up with that designer and architect not going, well, what is the end use going to be completely? Having Andrew Barris there, knowing he's the end user for the production company and the venue, it helps out so much because the architect gets an idea as to some modifications he'll need to have in there, some extra bells and whistles that have to be configured just for a theater to operate within that venue. We saw a little walkthrough of the property with an animated walkthrough where you actually got to take a little 3D tour through the facility. You see the upgrade to the balcony. The stage will actually be recessed back towards the back wall now. The stage opening, as you know, is about 15 to 20 feet in front of the back wall of the building. That will actually be pushed back. The stage opening will now be in the back wall. The back wall will, thanks to the Texas Historic Commission, they sent us a letter that said we can begin construction immediately and that they are on board with the back wall being taken down so that we can facilitate a new proscenium wall at the back of the building.
That's great.
They understand that with these older buildings, there has to be a give and a take that takes place, because historic buildings, they say we'll also be able to keep the historic designation marker on the front, the medallion that's there. It will wind up staying as if it were an old building, which it is. It's just getting a facelift on the back side. And that facelift is going to incorporate a new stage area, storage facility, as well as dressing rooms for the staff and cast.
Wow.
So it's going to be a nice venue. It's going to open up into the back parking lot. New utilities are going underground as we speak. The water and sewer are already done so. The electric plans to be moved underground as well. The entire back parking lot on the south side of the square will eventually be paved, leveled, graded, and set up. We do have some storage containers sitting back there. People are a little concerned about the fact that they might be taking up some parking spaces, but I've got to assure everybody the reason why those storage containers are there is there was a lot of stuff inside of the Opera House and inside the Quonset hut. We had to put it somewhere. And it would have been a little bit hindering to take and put all that stuff at a different location.
Yes.
And then transport it back. By having the sea crates there, there's 3 of them, we're actually able to move the props and set pieces. And inside of the Opera House, we found light fixtures, sound equipment, that kind of stuff. So we were able to move a lot of product into the 3 sea crates for bringing it back in when we get ready to move into the facility.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a discomfort for some, you know, with the parking and that sort of thing. But in the long term, it's going to be best for everybody, because you don't have to move that stuff around, and then as soon as you move it, something's going to get lost.
Well,
turn up missing.
It could be broken as
Exactly.
well. If we were to move those sea crates once they're fully loaded, we'd have to bring a crane in. And then you have to move it with the crane over to the site, remove it back off of it, and then put it into storage until you decide where you're going to bring it back and when. I've talked with the architect during the workshop, and he assures me that the location of the sea crates will not hamper the construction whatsoever. He says, as far as he knows, everything's going to run on clock except for the weather. Barring bad weather, everything should be as scheduled.
Well, I'll tell you, the anticipation couldn't be any bigger, and it's mainly because they had the launch here recently, and everybody that I've talked to, I didn't get to go, unfortunately, but everybody that did, that I've spoke with, said that it was an enormous success.
I thought it was fantastic. Of course, we were there, the wife was there. My wife immediately said, we'll sign up for season tickets.
Gotta have it.
That was the thing. They were trying to make people aware of the quality of production that they anticipate bringing to our community. And I've got to tell you, the vocals that we heard from on that stage, and in addition to the vocals, we had fantastic new lighting down at the conference center. If you haven't been to our conference center, you've got to stop by and just check out the new LED lighting. It worked very well for the venue. And the show itself, the sound quality was good, and I think everybody on the whole walked away with that feeling like, wow, I can't wait for this to happen at the Opera House.
Yeah, it's just like an off-Broadway production. I mean, it is just high quality productions, and they're already doing some of the productions. I know that group is doing some of the productions out and around our area.
Yeah, and they plan to do more. That before they can get into the venue, which is sometime in late November, early December, wow, they anticipate being at different and various venues around the city. There is even talk of trying to get the Commissioner's Court to allow them use of the newly renovated courthouse.
Oh, how neat!
You know, that courtroom is huge. It's a big open spanned area now. What better place to see To Kill a Mockingbird, which takes place in a courtroom.
In a courtroom, yeah.
There's other thoughts I've even heard them talk about doing 1776 inside of the courtroom.
Be good.
On July 4th.
Be awesome.
Would that be a patriotic tribute?
It would be perfect, and it is something that I think people will respond to and want to go see.
Yeah, everybody's got a smile on their face, anticipation. He launched with the anticipation of selling season tickets. He did so, but he still encourages the community to get out there, purchase more season tickets. They need your support to make this new functional operation of the theater production. It's Granbury Theater Company. They are a nonprofit 501c3 that is opened up, and they will be doing the production here at the Granbury Opera House.
It's going to be good, and I know I can speak for everyone. We just cannot wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
You know, there's other things going on in the community.
Oh, yes. Yes, most definitely. You know, my big thing is that the square right now, I'm very, very excited about all of the new businesses that I see moving in. And we talked about it a little bit at our last meeting, but let's harp on it a little bit more. If people haven't been down to the square in a while, they need to get back down there because things are happening.
Definitely, folks, get out of your house, visit the square. Things are a-changing. It's a new tide. A new tide has turned. That wave has washed out some of the old, brought in some new, and as a result, we've got some new eateries on the square. The Lake House Grill, inside of the building that was Hollywood and Vine, the old gas station. You know, Bonnie and Clyde came to that gas station.
Sure did.
That's some history. There is some history around our square. Notorious, infamous people out there that have visited our community.
Absolutely.
Not to say that there's not some now.
Some still hanging around. Yeah.
But on the whole, we have some great history here. And if you haven't visited the square, you need to bring some of your family down, friends. Invite them down to our historic square. You know, this is one community where people enjoy driving through our town square as opposed to around and skirt the city.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a great thing to have happen. We have the new, the old Red Bank building.
Yes.
Now has a new women's clothing store inside of it.
Red.
Very appropriate.
I love it. I love it. It's perfect. It's very apropos, and that building has a lot of history to it, too.
It really does. It's the old bank building, and if you haven't taken a picture of it, you need to, because they really have it dressed up. They got the window decorations in there. You know, another women's clothing store that's on the square is Christina's.
Yes.
It's actually inside of the old Mary Hart Tea Room. So it's over on the west side of the square. Christina's has opened a sandwich bistro. I got to sample it.
Good.
It is good.
It's good.
It was good. They have a panini or
Panini.
Whatever.
You say panini, I say panini.
Whatever. But that thing was very good. It was turkey based, and I got to tell you, I loved it. Fantastic meal. So you got to go by and walk around the square, pop in there.
A couple of exciting places that I've actually been able to go into during the construction phases because they totally redid the old coffee shop there next to where the Opera House is. It's going to be Paradise Coffee and Bistro Shop, and they totally just took everything out.
They gutted it,
and they are saying that they'll be open very soon. And they're working hard on having something very, very unique, and it's also going to have a bistro as well.
I think it's great. The more eateries we have, they sort of support themselves. You know, some people are concerned that there might be too much competition, but competition has always worked in a capitalistic system like we have.
Especially with guys like me who like to eat.
And want to jump from one place to another.
Oh, exactly. You know, write down a couple of buildings over is the 1890, what are they going to call it? The Grill and Lounge.
And Grill,
and they are remodeling that place. It used to be the Loft and Hank's.
Right.
And used to, long time ago, that used to be a cinema.
It did. It was a movie house. It was in the 30s. It was actually a movie house here on the square. So
and so they have went in and they're remodeling and reconfiguring, and they're going to have it looking super nice. And I met the people. They're super great folks. It's really neat that Granbury attracts some of the best people around. And
I love
they come in and they put good businesses here, and we need to go out there and support them.
We do. And that's very important to our local economy. People talk about how we have a low property tax. You know, we're only at 40 cents every $100 valuation. The reason the city has been able to do that is because the sales tax helps support the community services that we have out there. And I got to tell you, if you don't have businesses and you don't have tourism, there's a trickle-down effect that a lot of people don't consider out there.
Absolutely.
But it works. With those businesses open up, new jobs come in. The people that are working there can afford to go shopping locally. We have new restaurants. We have new grocery store. You know, we've got the H-E-B facility. We just heard from the Economic Development Corporation that there's a Michael's craft store going to open up out there on 377. I love crafts. It makes you feel artsy.
Oh, yeah.
Artsy.
Oh, yeah. Very artsy.
To walk in there and get to play around with paint and stuff like that, pottery.
Well, Michael's is a big chain too. And that coming to Granbury is paramount, because that leads in other chain department stores that want to come in. And you know, that I envision a time when that property across the street, the old Hooks Ford lot, when that property gets bought up and businesses come in and that sort of thing. And a lot of people, I'm an old-time Granbury resident, and a lot of the old-timers go, oh, I hate to see the town getting big time, but it's really exciting, and it's to me an infusion of new Granbury people, and I love it. I think it's great.
We've got to continue to grow.
Absolutely.
There's no reason to become stagnant out there. This economy thrives on the locals, and you've got to have something for the locals. We've got to get industry in here for the locals as well. With that in mind, we're going to wind up with that airport expansion.
Yes.
We spoke about that the last time. The airport expansion project is moving along. I've got to assure everybody, it's not being held back. We are moving forward with the purchase of property very, very shortly. We've just visited, the city manager went down and visited with TxDOT Aviation. I spoke about it last time. He assures me that they are on board with moving forward with the purchase of properties now. That in itself means that the groundbreaking is taking place very soon. They anticipate 2015 that we will actually have that opened up and operational.
And that's quick when you're talking about an airport, because you have so many checks and balances while you're building something in the respect of an airport. You have the FFA and FAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Future Farmers of America is going to come out there. No, the FAA.
They might get involved.
They might get involved. Everybody gets involved. I mean, it is a big process. They have so many checks and balances they have to sign off on.
Yeah, there's that environmental studies that have to take place, then your grading of the area, somebody's got to do that, then somebody's got to pave it. There's a big power line that's got to move.
Got to move some utilities.
Utilities have to be out of the way. You know, you've got people flying in their planes. You can't have overhead utilities that close to the airport.
And in anticipation of the addition, you have to have, you know, more adequate utilities in place to be able to support the new infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure is important and paramount for that area, because industrial zoning is taking place already around that area, anticipating this growth that's going to take place out there on the west end of our community.
It is really good when you see the foresight that goes involved in the planning of it, because we've seen a lot of communities, I'm not going to mention them down south, but there's a lot of communities that make major advancements to their community, such as expansions of airports and that sort of thing, but they don't plan ahead for the influx of new business that will want to come in, and it's pretty much just chopping your arm off when you do that.
Yeah, there's no sense in going back and backpedaling and saying,
Exactly.
oh, we should have.
Oh, we didn't think about that.
We should have upgraded the sewer line. We should have increased the water pipe size. You know, we are definitely moving forward with the abilities to support business in that area.
Let's get back to entertainment, because
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, I love entertainment. I guess it's the spring and the fact that I want to be out doing things.
It's beautiful weather out there.
And we have this slogan that goes around, there's always something going on in Granbury.
True.
And it is true. We talked about the Andrew Backus just a little bit ago. Talk about, because I know you went to one of these, I believe, some of those murder mysteries that are going around.
Well, Andrew Barris has been producing some murder mysteries over inside of what is the Nut House Hotel. Melinda Ray has allowed a back room area to become a dinner theater area now. And she's bringing in entertainment throughout the month. She's had things from just small concerts to dinner theater murder mysteries. Last one I attended was Elvis murder mystery.
Elvis.
Oh, baby. Oh. And nobody solved it when I was there.
Nobody solved it.
Nobody solved it. They wrote it up to where it was too easy.
I say it was red.
No.
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 It wasn't red?
No. It wasn't the heavy set Elvis either. No, it wasn't the girl Elvis.
No? There was a girl Elvis?
We had a girl Elvis there.
Wow.
It was funny. It was funny, all the Elvi. We had Elvi in the room.
Elvis.
So, yeah.
Well, who did it?
I can't tell you.
Oh, you can't tell me. We got to go back and see it. Okay.
You may have to go back.
Well, go back and see it. I want to see that one. I want to see who killed Elvis.
That one was fun. But, those kind of nighttime entertainment is what we need around our square. I'm hoping real soon, because of the weather being so nice, that we're going to start hearing music back on the square again.
Absolutely.
So I'm encouraging the city to start supporting local musicians and get some music back on the square. In anticipation of that vibe, I am just overwhelmed with how much activity there is around the square on the weekends.
Well,
it's
we have those
nice.
stages. We should have a beach party almost every week during these better weather months. That's my feeling about it. And now that we have the Rio Brazos, which is another venue. I mean, I know it's not in the city, but it's in the county, and it is part of Granbury, because I've talked to some of the hotels in the area, and they say that since the Rio Brazos has been here, their hotel occupancy rate has really been very, very good, and they are enjoying the influx of people coming into town just to go to that facility.
Well, actually, on that respect, the hotel occupancy tax, that is the city's barometer in whether or not heads are in the beds, up 30%.
Up 30%.
30%.
That is enormous. And, you touched on it a while ago, and I hate to go back to it, but I'm going to. When people complain about their tax rate, when people talk about, their property taxes being too high and their sales taxes being too high, there's a community not very far from here, down south, that is a smaller community, and their tax rate is enormously higher than what ours is, property and sales wise. So we have it very good here, and it's because of things like that. Up 30%.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
It is. That hotel occupancy tax is used to generate more revenue, because it actually is the dollars that generate the advertising, the tourism growth is a result of that hotel occupancy tax. Since we've had the new marketing and communications director, Shanna, come on board, we have seen quite a bit of stimulation out there in word of mouth. And our community is thriving because of it. People are already starting to use the city beach. I was surprised. I drove by there on the weekend.
It was full.
The beach is working.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great place to go dip your toes in the sand. You don't even have to go down to Galveston or Corpus anymore. People out of the Metroplex have found our beach. I think it's fantastic.
Beach party.
Yeah.
Beach party. Throw up a little stage up there, get a couple little acts come in, and have a good old time.
I'm telling you, we could do it.
Good old time. I know you're excited about the fact that you're off tomorrow. Of course, this is Thursday, the 5th. Tomorrow, of course, it's a Good Friday.
Good Friday.
City offices will be closed, and we're going to be getting ready for the Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny is a-coming.
That's right.
He's a-coming. And he's going to be out at our city park.
Yep.
He's going to arrive on a fire truck, from what I've heard. And he's going to be there to greet the kids and have photos with the kids. This is going to take place at City Park from noon to 2 o'clock. The event takes place from noon to 2. The Easter egg hunt is actually scheduled later on in that event. It's not going to start at noon.
And that's Saturday the 7th.
That's Saturday, April 7th.
Right.
From noon to 2 in the City Park. It's a community-wide Easter egg hunt.
That's awesome.
It's co-sponsored by the Acton United Methodist Church and our local HEB store. They are helping to drive this Easter egg hunt. And I got to tell you, I'm going to be there. I'm planting some mayor eggs.
Mayor eggs.
Mayor eggs. These are not your typical little plastic size.
These are gold, and they weigh a lot.
Well, I wish I could have afforded gold eggs, but no. Don't get their anticipation.
You're the mayor of Granbury, not the Metroplex, right?
I'm not Midas. We are going to have some mayor eggs that'll have some special treats.
Oh, wow.
There's 6 different categories from what I've been told of age groups, from toddlers all the way up to 13 and above.
Oh.
I fit in
above.
there.
13 and above. There you go. I'll be hunting.
Yeah.
I can knock those kids down.
I'm going to push my way into it.
There you go.
But we're going to have some entertainment from what I've been told.
Good.
And the stage will be up there. Some giveaways throughout the day. Some prizes and contributions have been gathered up from the community. So I'm anticipating a great family event time right there at City Park.
Isn't that neat? You can take your family out, the kids, to the grandparents, just bring them all out there and have a fun day with the community. I think that's awesome.
And it's not just if you live in the city.
No.
We talk about community. Anybody that's coming through town, stop off and see us.
Absolutely.
If you got friends in the family in town for Easter, bring them by. Grab some plastic eggs out of the Easter egg hunt. Take them home. Enjoy the goodies. Have a chance to participate in a community-wide Easter egg hunt. It's great.
I love Easter because it brings families together. Everybody comes in on Easter, and if you're wanting something to do on Saturday, that's just going to be a fun get-together. It really is. I'll tell you something else that I'm really looking forward to, and that's Granbury Goes Green. Of course, you did a little promo for us the other day, and I'm ready. It's going to be good.
Granbury Goes Green is a community-wide effort to clean up our environment locally. We have signed on with a company out of the Metroplex called Techway Services. They do electronic recycling. They do computers, and now they do TV recycling. One of the major manufacturers of televisions is helping to underwrite the recovery of old TVs. So this year, for the first time, you will be able to bring a TV down to our park. That's Hewlett Park this time, on April 21st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hewlett Park is located across from the Granbury Conference and Resort Center. It's right across from City Beach. Come down there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, April 21st. Bring us all of your junked out electronics, that VCR that's been sitting on the shelf that you say, I still got a lot of VCR tapes, but you never have thought to bring it down and get it fixed. And it's just sitting there collecting dust.
Yep.
You've got those old remote controls piled up in those closets and on the floor in the drawers. I was over at a customer's house the other day. You know, I do electronic repair.
Right.
I opened up a drawer, and this guy's got 20 remote controls.
Remote controls.
I started sifting through them. He's only got 3 pieces of electronics in his living room now, but he had 20 remotes, and some of them dated back to the late 70s.
Oh, my goodness.
So, you know, this is your chance to dump that old technology. Get rid of it. Bring it out of its little closet space or the garage. Even if you've had it stored out in your backyard and it's been weathered. It's electronic. They want you to bring it to them. They will get rid of it in a green way. And that's important.
And that's
Granbury Goes Green.
Yeah, and that's the best way to get rid of it, and let the professionals handle it. And they're not going to charge you anything for this. You just go down there.
You know, the biggest issue we have with electronics is the soldering inside of them contains lead.
Right.
The picture tube on the old CRT picture tubes or computer monitors are lead-based glass. So you have to get rid of that stuff in an environmentally friendly way as opposed to just putting it into a landfill. So that's what they're doing. And I'm so happy that the city of Granbury was able to get on board with this. Other communities are doing the same thing, but we're doing it Earth Day weekend.
Yes.
Earth Day is the next day, April 22nd.
It keeps you mindful about what's going on and keeps you more aware of your environment.
That's right. So April 21st, get that truck loaded up with those old electronics. Get them down to City Park. We even have some entertainment that's going to take place. I've talked a couple of people into playing some music, and I've encouraged them that maybe the mayor should sit in with them.
You think they'll let me play my banjo?
If you brought your banjo, I can find time for you.
Good. I've got, I know 3 chords now.
And you still have 3 strings on the banjo?
Well, no, all of them are still there.
You still have? Oh,
yes.
I didn't know you had the money to replace all of them.
I don't use all of them.
No.
I know 3 chords.
3 chords, that's a good start.
And maybe they'll let me play at the Wine Walk.
The Wine Walk is
It's right around the corner. It's just a few days after the Granbury Goes Green event.
Yes, that following weekend, starting on the evening of Friday, April 27th, Granbury's Wine Walk, 3rd annual Granbury Wine Walk, is going to be around the square. You know, they utilize that back alley on the west side of the square. They use that area, and then they have local winery tastings around the square. They use the Granbury Square Plaza. They bring some local cheese manufacturers in. So there's cheese tasting, wine tasting. You can get your souvenir glass from the group that's putting on the event. It's a great time. And there'll even be some entertainment. Aurora Blue, if you've never heard Aurora Blue, that gal Stephanie, she can belt out some bluesy jazz songs. Fantastic voice. Her and the band are going to be here to perform for the Granbury Wine Walk. And I believe they're doing the entertainment at the Granbury Square Plaza stage. So you got to check out Aurora Blue.
It's going to be great. Hey, Mayor, do you know of any space I might be able to set up like a little, maybe a little vendor booth, and I can get my still working, and I've actually got a toilet that I can make jailhouse wine out of, and maybe I'll bring some Boone's Farm, and no?
I don't think that's going to work, Dave.
You're not going to let me do that?
Yeah.
I'll have to go to Divine Wine and just get stocked up.
Well, yeah, Divine Wine will be active on the square. You'll actually be able to walk around the square and tote a little glass with you. One of the things we've got going here in Granbury. May is coming up soon, too.
Oh, yes. And there's a big something going on in
May. National Day of Prayer takes place on May the 3rd or 4th, I believe it is. And
it's the 3rd.
I know it's a Thursday.
It's the 3rd.
And in honor of that, there is a breakfast, a prayer breakfast that takes place. And then all of the community is invited to that. The local Granbury Ministerial Alliance is going to be promoting that and putting on the event at our conference center. 6 a.m. wake-up call for everybody that day. But come down, get your breakfast, and get a little bit of insight. National Day of Prayer, it's recognized across the entire nation on that day, and Granbury participates in that. And
I have been promised that this breakfast is going to be well worth getting up that early in the morning to go to. So, and it's just a great day. It's the National Day of Prayer. It is May the 3rd. The breakfast is, and just get up early, go out there and enjoy it. It's going to be a good time. Yeah, lots of camaraderie and fellowship that takes place during that too. Of course, Memorial Day is also in the month of May, so we'll have a big weekend of events going on here in the area, and you want to touch on that a little bit. I know the HGMA has a parade that's going to be on the square. Yes, HGMA, that's the Historic Granbury Merchants Association, will be presenting us with a Memorial Day Veterans Parade. They're going to honor those who gave their life, gave the ultimate sacrifice, as well as the local vets. They're going to be out there en masse. We actually have word that there will be some World War II, vintage World War II entries in the parade, as well as some local motorcycle groups, some veterans groups.
it looks like it's developing into a big to-do.
And they're going to have that reenactment over on 377 too. I know that they're getting all ramped up for that too.
Yeah, the U.S. Veterans Museum. If you haven't been by the U.S. Veterans Museum, they're just located down on this street right here. You've got to go down there.
Shame on you if you haven't.
Yeah, you've got to stop by because they have got artifacts dating all the way back to the American Revolution, all the way to the current conflicts that are taking place. So it's a great gamut of history, as well as they've got some Indian artifacts on display inside of there. But the U.S. Veterans Museum, as one of their fundraisers and awareness in the community events, is bringing together a live reenactment. World War II reenactment has been proposed, as well as a Vietnam reenactment that's going to take place across the way from Jerry Durant's Toyota dealership in that vacant field over there. I've heard that there's going to be some flyovers of planes. There was talk at one time about parachutists. If it turns out as big as it's been promoted, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a must-see.
You know, something else in conjunction with that is the 1,000 flags that they're going to be putting on out there. And I've got to encourage you that if you haven't gotten your flag, it's a 3x5 flag. It will be flown in a field. It's a field of flags going to be taking place in that same general area across from the Durant Toyota dealership. Contact the U.S. Veterans Museum or the local Chamber of Commerce regarding the field of flags. Sign up for a field of flags. It's your way of giving a tribute flag for those that you know gave that ultimate sacrifice. This field of flags, they anticipate somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 flags out there. A picturesque moment.
Oh, yes.
It would be awesome to drive into our community and see all those flags in honor of those who gave it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to get one.
I encourage you to.
Might get two.
If you know a vet or somebody that, you know, if you have in-laws, family, friends, somebody you know that sacrificed for our country, whether they're dead, they're alive, memorial tributes, this is your way of honoring that individual and showing the community that you're involved. And you get to take the flag home. It's your flag.
Yep.
After the event, you're welcome to your flag.
It'll be a great event. I'm sure of it. And of course, that's going to be Memorial Weekend. Memorial Weekend.
It starts on Friday with a setup on the square and setting up out at that venue, and then it's taking place on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
You know, Ricky, a lot of things come and go. Just come and go. You know, you see businesses all the time. They'll come in, they'll be part of the community for a little while, and then they just leave. And you'll see people that just come and go, you know, that sort of thing. And they'll say the good die young. I'm going to live, you know, well past this number. But would you say 125 years is a significant amount of time being around and being part of a community?
125. Very few businesses in our entire region.
In the world.
In our region here can boast that they've been in operation for 125 years. But we have one.
Yes, we do.
In June, on June 15th, our First National Bank will be celebrating its 125th anniversary here on our square. They've actually been on our square since 1887 when they chartered the bank and put it on the corner. They actually founded the bank in 1883. But 2 or 4 years later, they located and chartered themselves as the First National Bank in that building on the corner, on the northwest corner of our square.
125 years ago.
They're planning a street dance. They're inviting our entire community to come out.
It's going to be good.
They've got the Party Crashers out of the Metroplex coming down. They're a nice cover band. If you have never heard the Party Crashers, you can go visit them on their website. Just Google them. You know, I'm all about the Google.
You can Google them or look them up on the internet.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But the Party Crashers will be here entertaining, and they'll have a street dance. We're gonna close off. One of the things City Council did at the last meeting is we allowed them to close off Bridge Street. That's the street in front of First National Bank. Anticipation is there'll be some food trucks, I believe, brought in to cater the event.
Oh, it's gonna be nice.
And there's gonna be a street dance, band, music. Oh, you've got to get out. That's June 15th. So we've got a few months to look forward to that.
I hear tell they may even do this thing where they'll give away free $125 bills. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I always go in there. I go in there, every so often, and to cash a check or just to say hello or to bug somebody or to get thrown out. And when I go in there, I always ask them, do y'all have any free samples? Do you ever do that?
I have yet to go to the bank and ask for
free
samples. Yeah, I haven't done that.
I tried that one time with a ski mask, and it didn't go over very good.
I hope the law came after you for that.
It was not pleasant. It was cold outside, Ricky.
Oh, that's why the ski mask.
It was very cold.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't do that in summer.
No, that would not go over very well.
No, that would not have been the appropriate time to wear a ski mask.
Not appropriate. 125 years. I mean, what a milestone. What a trip. And not only that, they are a big part of the community. First National Bank's involved in so many different functions and activities and school functions and that sort of thing. They are just a diamond here in Granbury, Texas. So go out and celebrate with them. And that's going to be on June the 15th.
June 15th. Yes.
Circle your calendars.
Yeah.
It's going to be big.
Mark it down.
I know you'll be there. I'll be there.
Hey, that pretty much wraps it up for us.
That wraps it up. We're at the end of our list, and it's been a good one. I know I'm anticipating. Be out there this weekend for Easter weekend. Be with your family and enjoy the community that is right here in Granbury, Texas. Thanks a lot, Ricky. I appreciate it. We'll be back sometime soon with another interview here on Granbury TV.